This is Magic More, the party spark of the J team, 8-time extraordinaire, the caterator.
This is your boy Chuck C from them throwback boys. Stacks on deck. Zone 3 representative.
And this is Atlanta Rap.
Yo, we back once again, man, with another episode of Atlanta Rap History. We coming tonight with just a different episode tonight. We're not interviewing any rappers tonight, but we talking about the Mirror City tonight. Tonight we gonna be talking about Atlanta versus Detroit and how both of these cities are so much alike. If you look here at the flyer, you see they had Motown records. We had LaFace records. They got the Fox Theater. We have the Fox Theater. They have the Circle Hotel building downtown. And Atlanta, we have the Circle building, the Peachtree Western downtown. So you can see how much the cities mirror each other. Back in the days, if you wanted a record deal, you went to Motown. You went to Detroit. Nowadays, if you're looking for a record deal, you come to Atlanta. Back in the days, if you was looking for a job, you went to Detroit. That's where all the jobs was. But nowadays, everybody black know if you're looking for a job, you come to Atlanta. So tonight, and also there's one more thing that we share in common, and we're going to be talking about that tonight, and that's BMF family. That's something that Detroit and Atlanta have in common. BMF family. It started in Detroit. It ended in Atlanta. And so we go talk about that tonight, about the BMF family, about the people that started the BMF family off. We go talk about other crews that came up out of Detroit, such as Young Boys Incorporated. We go talk about Maserati Rick. We go talk about Detroit. We go talk about Detroit. So in order for me to talk about Detroit, I had to go get some people from Detroit. You know how we do it on Atlanta Rap History, man. We got to go straight to the source. So I had to go and get some people from Detroit to be able to come in and talk about Detroit. You can't talk about Detroit if you ain't got nobody from Detroit there talking about it with you. So I had to go and holler at my good friends over there at Frat House.
At Frat House 11. Cover me, I'm going in. We kicking it with our callers, drinking it alcoholic, shows and videos by y'all artists, don't know other part go harder. House.
Yo, y'all, welcome to Frat House in the building. The Frat House is live in the building.
Check.
What up, though?
Yo. Man, first of all, y'all introduce yourselves, starting from the left to the right.
What up, though? I'm your boy Big Seapo in the building, Frat House representative.
Yeah, you got Curtis Kane right here, man. What up, though? Got Old Yeller in the house, Frat House. What up, though?
Yes, sir.
Joy Road veteran. What up, though?
Yes, sir. Joy Road veteran. Hey, man, that Joy Road. I seen a movie about that Joy Road, man. Detroit Joy Road, man, starring Trick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So, like I was talking about in the intro, man, and if you look at behind them, you'll see that it say DNA. Let them know what that DNA stand for.
Detroit and Atlanta.
Detroit and Atlanta, man, the connection.
In Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Yes, the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into the nitty gritty, man, won't y'all just talk a little bit about who y'all are and what y'all got going on?
You want to take it?
You want to start or I start?
Okay.
We the Frat House podcast, man. We started in 2020. And that's why, if you see our Facebook, it's symbolic to that, because that's when we started. We started going live on Facebook, and then we turned this into a real podcast. And we've been rolling ever since. It stands for Factual Random Artists and Adult Topics. FRAD is an acronym for that. And we like to have a blend of the serious along with the fooling at the same time. You know what I'm saying? To keep it well rounded. We get our clown on, we get our drink on, but we also cover some real serious topics. You know what I'm saying? We get our thing going, man. Go ahead, Sibo. Tell them a little bit more, man.
And also, what we do, we promote other artists, other black business, and we do live interviews on the spot via com, I guess you can call it, or whatever, live interviews. We promote. We also host parties. My man Curtis Kane, he's a party host. You know what I'm saying? So we do enough, man. And we coming out with our own clothing line too. Apparel, frat apparel. Go ahead, G.
You know how I'm always. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm a DJ. Got DJing. It's part of the crew. Nah.
As far as what I do, I pretty much promote the show. I produce the show rather, and I DJ, and just try to make sure that things are going right.
That's
as far as audio, visuals, audio.
So we live in the frat house.
Live in the frat house. There you go. Now, the reason I wanted to have y'all on this show is because of the Detroit-Atlanta connection. And again, that's what we talking about tonight. We talking about that Detroit-Atlanta connection. So y'all being from Detroit, do y'all remember the beginning of BMF?
Well, I start off with that one. When I came up, I always heard of the 50 Boys. Never met them, never knew who they were at the time. But coming from where I'm from, you hear a lot of names in the streets like the 50 Boys and Big 50, but you never see. I never seen a face with them, but their name rung bells in the street. What about you, bro?
Same thing. I heard of the 50 Boys, but I think I'm a little older than them, ain't I?
No.
I ain't okay.
Just a little bit.
Yes, you are.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Like you say, my era,
Yeah, so did you know the guy that put them on, Mr. Ed Boyd?
No, I ain't never heard of him. Like I said, when I came up, I ran across a lot of real ones. But they know how I am, man. I can know you by face, but I ain't gonna remember your name, I ain't good at remembering names because I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
But people knew me back in the days.
Right.
And this nigga from Detroit, the east side, the whole Mac. From Mac and Woodward all the way to Mac to Alta Road,
I don't
projects,
And another thing, like back then, because it was so far back, when they was the 50 Boys, I think a lot of us heard that name. I know I did too, but I never had made that connection between, even when BMF started popping or whatever, I never knew that was the same crew and made that connection until later on.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, in my hood, it was the Joy Boys, so we was big on that. I did hear the 50 Boys, but I wasn't really familiar with them. Later on, like when BMF started popping, then a lot of my cousins' people were BMF, so I got a chance to meet a couple of them through him. But
yeah,
up until then, I heard the name, but I really didn't know what they was about.
Couldn't put a face with it.
Yeah.
So back then, when they were still in Detroit, did they pick up the BMF name in Detroit, or did that name pick up when they moved to Atlanta?
Detroit.
No, they picked it up before they moved anywhere.
Yeah, they picked it up in Detroit because that 50 Boys, from my understanding, they was catching a lot of flack and beef from people.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. That's what I heard too.
They had to change their name.
They kind of rebranded themselves, basically.
Yeah, because the 50 Boys, that name was hot.
Yeah,
it was.
Yes. Go ahead.
And like they took it to another level when they rebranded, And that's why a lot of people didn't make the connection.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really know who they was until they was BMF, and I started hearing of the Flannery brothers.
Yeah.
And like the 12th Street Boys, you know, my partner Strawman.
Strawman and them.
He was down with, you know, back then with them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Doing that stuff back then. So I was more familiar with the 12th Street and heard about the 50 Boys.
Yeah.
You know, not knowing, you know, who they were, but when they rebranded, and the boys took the fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you say the 12th Street Boys, that's the guys that's perpetrated in the BMF series as the 14th Street Boys.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed some of the names, you know, just for legal purposes and flip a few things around. But yeah, it's all based on true story.
Now there was another guy coming out of Detroit that was using the Mafia title. Can you talk to me a little bit about this guy?
Maserati.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't want to speak on that one.
you ain't gotta speak on nothing that you can't speak on, but
I ran across him. He in my area, he was a cool guy.
Yeah, that's
you know how I was when I came up. I was always cool with niggas.
Yeah,
but when I know something about to go down, that you know, I need to stay out here and do my thing.
Maserati Rick.
You know,
hey, he was an East Side veteran. He was a great dude, man. And from my understanding, when he got killed, it was a whole lot of territorial, really misunderstanding. You know, from my point of view, you know, Eagles got bigger than what they were.
That's
you
when
know,
they were burying people in the car.
Yeah, Maserati Rick he was also like a street celebrity. You know what I'm saying? He was that type of dope boy. Like, even if you didn't know who he was, you knew his name.
Yeah.
Like his name was ringing in the streets like crazy.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. And from my understanding, my little research I've been doing, that's the reason that he got killed, because he was a nice guy, and they took his niceness for weakness.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah. So
like, Eagles got big because he was like you say, you know, he was cool. You know, and people get jealous of that. Like, if everybody got love for one person, it's like, where my love at? You don't got no love for me?
He was like that real popular dude, you know what I'm saying, that everybody fucked with. And, you know, he was connected everywhere. Everybody knew who he was. But he was a cool dude from what I understand. I never met him personally. Plus, I was younger then. But, his name definitely was ringing bells. So I think a lot of jealousy was involved in that shit, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, with money
Big Money was moved.
Oh, yeah, Big Money was moved.
Jealousy. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you ain't getting your work from over here, or you don't want to give me no work, or you know how the streets
They
is.
did a replica of a Maserati when they buried that man.
No, it was a Mercedes.
Wasn't it like
Mercedes?
I know
Mercedes.
he was buried in a car, like a car type casket. Yeah,
it was a Benz, white and gold.
Oh, it was a Benz.
Yeah, white and gold.
Yeah.
But he was a legend, man. Yeah, you know, in the 80s.
Every hood had a legend. Every hood had a legend.
They did him dirty, though. They got him in receiving hospital.
Yeah. From what the reports is, he got shot. He went to the hospital and he was murdered inside the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy, man. I say that took some guts right there.
That lets you know it wasn't easy to get to him if they had to do it like that.
Right?
Yeah. No, it was easy to get to him. You walked in the hospital. They should have had guards
back
on the door.
you know,
like nowadays.
Back then they wasn't up on game like that.
No, they were, but you know, you talking about Detroit.
But you you can't rule out inside people either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We talking
about
Detroit.
Exactly, inside people. You see what I'm saying? They paid the guard. He had guards, but they just paid the guards.
That's all it was.
Some shady shit going
when
on.
When he talk bullshit, walk. You know.
So what did you think about him, Chuck?
Well, from my research on, he was like he said, he was a good guy, and that was his downfall. It was a couple of times that people might have took something from him or done something from him, and he didn't reply, he didn't retaliate, and his own goons took that for weakness. So they went with another crew that was paying the same money but had that same ruthless to them. And since we talking about that, let's talk about that other crew that they went to, and that was these guys right here.
Yeah, YBI.
YBI.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. They was
Only down.
Hey, YBI was something though, bro. Like me personally, I think they worked for the mayor at the time.
I don't know what I worked for, but I did it with them though.
Yeah.
Later, right here.
You want to start it off, G, talking about YBI?
I wouldn't start out first. I was just a young cat on the streets doing my due selling, you know what I'm saying? And I started off with a crew called Pony Down.
Pony Down?
Then I went to a crew called Renegades. Then I hooked up with Young Boys. But when I hooked up with them West Side guys.
Yeah, they started on the West Side. YBI.
East Side was like, Best Friends and Curry Boys, Chambers and all like that.
Murray Bishops.
But that's gangs. My gang was Mac Cuz. I'm off Mac, straight off of Mac. Mac, huh? Kirk McGirt.
West Side.
That's West Side. Yeah, that's Young Boy. I mean, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
so I
that's
started off
Young
with
Boy.
them, me and Maceo and them.
Yeah.
But as we were doing our thing over there on the West Side, man, they was looking at us like they coming over here getting our money. So I had hooked Maceo. I said, man, we got to go, bro, because we can already get done up over here, man. They don't care about us being Young Boys. So that's when I moved to when I always been on Concord, but I moved my little spot to Mac and Bewick.
Yeah.
And I kept getting messed up on there, and I came on back to my hood, Mac and Concord.
Yeah.
Well, I was born and raised.
But YBI, they kind of, I think they was the first. They were the first millionaires.
It said if you Google it, it say YBI.
Yeah, YBI.
Better known as Young Boys Incorporated,
Yeah.
was the first Afro-American drug cartel.
Cartel, yeah.
Cartel.
Cause they fucked the city. They fucked the city up.
Yeah, that was the first definitely the first black drug cartel on that level that I ever heard of.
On the streets
They
and
was
wherever.
the beginning, the blueprint.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think they came down to Atlanta too. Am I right, Chuck?
Well, I haven't heard that one, but I know that they had a lot of connections in New York, and they had connections overseas, Mexican connections.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they was smart too.
I'm sure they branched out to a lot of places with the money they was getting.
Yeah, they were smart, man. They was like organized at first, but as usual, when money divide everybody,
Would you say those guys was the blueprint to what's going on today? What I mean by that is how it's a young man's game. You know what I'm saying? Back in my days, the kingpin was an old dude. Nowadays, the kingpin is a young guy. And Young Boys Incorporated kind of started that formula of young people with a lot of money. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
I would.
Most definitely.
I most definitely agree with that.
Yeah. But see, the difference between them then and them now, they was thinkers then.
Yeah.
Right.
They try to stay out the way. Now, the young boys now, they're in a hurry to go to jail or jump in the casket.
Yeah.
They get all that money and they jump dead in the casket. They don't even make it to jail now.
That's an excellent point. They was young when they started, and they was the blueprint. They was the beginning, but it was a lot of thinkers on that team.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of OGs like using their head.
Yeah.
To to really put it down or whatever. That's the difference. Like, that's a good point, Sebo.
Yeah, like what was it? Butch Jones. He got out and wrote a book.
Yeah.
You know.
And they started out on some knucklehead shit too. You know, they was robbing and Butch was robbing, hitman and all that. But once it got organized, they was on point after that.
Yeah, they had all those young guys,
and like it started,
and then they couldn't go to jail.
Two brothers.
Yeah,
the two brothers started it.
Yeah.
You know, and then they were smart. They were smart. I give it to them. Get the young people, 14, 15 years old. They millionaires at 16.
Right.
I think
Get
BMF
busted you right back out of jail.
BMF is like a second generation of that.
Yeah.
To me.
That's what they
I
was.
think they took a lot of the blueprint from that.
Yeah, that's what they follow. They follow.
Right.
Yeah, they would model themselves off of Young Boys Incorporated.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
which all of them did.
Yeah.
You know the Chambers brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody,
The
man.
Curry boys.
Right.
Yeah,
And the Chamber Brothers. While he talking about the Chamber Brothers, that was the ones that they patterned that movie New Jack City around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was real. That was real life.
Alabama or somewhere?
No, that was in Detroit.
No, I'm talking about Chambers. They originally from Alabama or Mississippi.
Yeah.
No,
They're from the South.
No,
Yeah,
he's
they
right.
from the
They're
South,
originally
but
from
they
there.
came to Detroit and they got on.
They moved with their family. They were young. Their family moved to work for GM. They moved to work from GM and brought
I
them.
think it was Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama,
Yeah.
and Mississippi.
And then,
they from the South.
They came to Detroit young though.
And fuck the city.
Yeah.
Like that Carter Hotel, wasn't that the Brewster Projects?
Brewster Project, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that
Brewster Jeffries.
no, but that's what they did it after. The hotel that they took over, that was live.
A lot of people don't know that New Jack City took a lot from the Detroit blueprint on that.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's where it happened at.
If you read that too, they said New Jack City, they got a lot from Detroit. Somebody from Detroit.
Yeah, the Carter was basically based after
Detroit,
the project.
With not just in any apartment building.
Yeah.
We didn't have it like the like New Jack City because I think that was too much fake. You know,
but it was an apartment building in Detroit that was like that. It wasn't that big, but
Yeah, but they definitely had a whole apartment building that they were in control of every apartment in the apartment building, and they had walls, holes in the walls that go all the way down the hallway to escape from the police and everything like that. They did have an apartment complex where they were in control of every apartment.
Now you got to think about how organized that is to for some young cats back then to think like that.
That's dope,
and that's what they not doing now. To your point earlier.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They already got the escape hatches planned out. They moving the product within the apartment, all of that.
And then think about back in the day, you didn't know who was selling, dope, because they didn't really show their faces like that.
Right.
You know, they tell you go across the street, grab that bag in the dirt, or look behind that tree. Because I know when I was in the streets, that's what we would do. Another chip bag.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing about them old crews, like you made me think of it when you said they ain't show their faces. When it was a problem with somebody, when they send that hitman for you, you definitely don't see his face.
Oh man,
he was like a ghost.
Yeah,
in and out.
But he'd be part of the crew, but you would never know who he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they have a famous hitman named Nate Boone that came up out of Detroit. Any of y'all familiar with him?
Best friend
with him, Big Boom. Yep.
Best friends.
Best friends, Big Boom.
Yeah. Nate Kraft.
Yeah.
Boom.
He a little bit older than me. Big Boom.
Yeah. The Grim Reaper is what they called him.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you see that black head?
That's it.
It's over with.
Yes, sir. And he's well documented. You can look him up on YouTube. There's a lot of little documentaries on him where he tells the story about Maserati Rick. And the crazy part about his story is he did less time in jail than White Boy Rick.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
that's crazy, right?
We're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, they railroaded the White Boy, man. They railroaded him. He said because Curry said, man, between the Currys and White Boy Rick was like a two. They was a team.
Yeah.
They went jail and got out. He's still in there, man.
And they went to jail for murder.
Yeah. and they got out before him.
Not
That's
one
what,
body,
the
1,
Currys
2,
we talking
3,
about. They
4
got
bodies.
it. Yeah.
And this dude never killed nobody, nothing. And they gave him about what, 50 years?
Are y'all familiar? Are y'all familiar with the cricket mayor that was caught up in the in his case?
Which one?
Kwame Young.
Kwame
A. Young.
He was a black guy. He was a black guy that was that tried. They said that he was the one that tried to frame white boy Rick.
So he got
Coleman Young.
You talking about Coleman Young?
Yeah.
He
Hey,
started going with his niece.
that was one of the coldest men
Hey,
in history.
That was the coldest man we
what's
had.
what's so crazy about us saying that back and forth? Which one you talking about? We got first and second generation crook. We got first and second generation corrupt mayors in Detroit too. But yeah, Coleman Young back in them days, yeah, that was Coleman A. Young, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Coleman Young.
But the thing about Coleman Young is Coleman Young was involved in a lot of shit, but he never really got caught like on the level that Kwame did. He never really got
Kwame
all
was
the way
sloppy.
caught dead to rights
Kwame,
on that
yeah.
shit.
Kwame was sloppy, and everybody respected Mayor Young because he was a
man,
war veteran.
Right.
And when he went to Washington, he didn't give a fuck if it was the president or whoever. He gonna let their ass have
Yeah,
it.
Coleman Young was an OG. For real.
Yeah, he cuss your
He'll
ass.
cuss you out in a minute.
Yeah.
You
My
know?
city need 100 million, and we need that.
Then you remember he stopped trying to keep the outsiders like St. Clair Shores, East Point, all. If you didn't work in Detroit, he didn't want you working.
Yeah,
in
you couldn't come
Detroit.
across
You
8
didn't-
Mile.
You couldn't even
Right.
come across 8 Mile.
Yeah.
He had it like that at one time. You're not about to take all our money here and take it back on y'all side.
Chuck, you know how y'all had stress here? Oh no, Red Dogs.
We had stress.
Y'all had Red Dogs. We had the
Red Dogs.
All stress, Big Four,
We had the
Gang Squad.
Yeah,
I definitely remember Big Foe.
Hey,
If be four
in the car,
Yeah, back
and
then.
if they going to take you to jail, you know where you're going.
yeah, they beat
In
the
the
shit
middle,
out
in
you.
the trunk.
Yep.
One of the two.
Yeah,
That's the way they did us on the east side.
You
And
talking
then
about
if four in the
fear
car,
on the streets?
yeah.
That Big Foe pull up.
pull up, they
Sun go down, it's a wrap.
Yeah, man.
throw you in the back of the trunk in a minute.
Yeah,
That's your best bet to get put in the trunk. Because if you're in the middle of them, I done been in the middle with the Big Four before. And as soon as I got in the middle, the motherfucker like said, nigga, you lean up against me, nigga, I'm gonna hit you. The other nigga said the same thing. Nigga, just put me in the trunk, dog.
yeah.
And they will. They put it on me.
But yeah, the
Back
Curry
seat, dog.
boys. I mean, Boone was something.
Yeah, Big Boom. Yeah.
Yeah, Boone was something, man.
Like Chuck was saying, I go through his documentary sometimes,
Yeah.
Big Boom, And
Yeah,
I didn't know he had got, hit up that many times.
stabbed, shot. Yeah,
Shot, yeah.
that's something. But yeah, they railroaded White Boy Rick.
Yeah, you were saying earlier that compared to the other guys, white boy Rick wasn't even that big or even on that level, but he has done the most time out of any person with a non-violent crime in the U.S. history.
Yeah, and that's come. What's her name? Kim, the attorney, the prosecutor, Kim Worthy. That's her name.
Uh-huh.
It was a lot of dope being moved.
Yeah, it was, man.
Yeah,
A lot of dope.
yeah. It was crazy then, Chuck. Yeah.
Dope murder capital.
Do y'all think that he was actually moving the dope for the police department, or was he just an informant that they allowed to move dope?
Both.
Yeah, and I was about to say the same thing. Probably were both.
I think it probably wasn't. It probably wasn't both at first, but once he became an informant, he probably was actually moving informant at that point.
Chuck. Hey, we got a legend pulled up in the building.
Man, what's around this thing, man? What's happening, Major one time for you, man?
What up, though?
Man?
Hell yeah, what up, though?
What it do, man?
Legend in the building.
What's up, man?
Yes,
What's
sir.
up? What's up with you,
We had Curtis Kane, Yellow Boy, Big Thief in the building.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
this is the first time in the frat house, man. Much love, man.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate the
Throwback
invite
boy
and
in the
everything.
building.
Y'all know Atlanta traffic here and stuff like that.
You
though.
know,
Hell
you
yeah.
know.
But yeah, man, I'm in the building though, man. Represent one time for Atlanta rap history.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to my boy Chuck C. You know what I'm saying? Throwback for sure.
Hell yeah.
And representing the J team all day.
Hell yeah.
Huh? What they know about that? Huh?
Hey, see, that's what we talk about, man.
Hey,
See,
Magic Mar, let them know a little bit about yourself, man, and tell them how you started, how you really started this thing. Oh man, really, man. You know, it really just go back to the whole essence, man, of Atlanta hip hop. Anyway, man. Just like how you had the DJ Clue and DJ Screams and all that stuff like that. But I come up under the tag of King Edward J.
Okay,
And, we kind of started like
Now that I heard of.
King Edward J.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we got.
I heard of King Edward J.
Man. There's a lot of people out there, man. Everybody from Success and Effect to if y'all know DJ Smurf, Mr. College Paul.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Man, it really go on, man. It go on, but he
You
just a lot of
indulge?
people, man. Why not? What the hell, man? Yeah.
Welcome to the frat house.
That's what's
You
up.
see, for sure.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm just a member of the team, man. We had stores, man, all across Atlanta, but we were just selling our mixtape for $13.50. Streets, you dig?
He added the 50 cent on there. He said a 13.50.
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck, we gonna take a shot.
Hey, Chuck, since you put this together, we gonna give a toast to the Mirror Cities, man.
Hey, to the Mirror City, man. DNA.
Detroit and Atlanta, man.
Detroit and Atlanta.
You heard?
Yeah.
Whew. Lord,
Take a shot for DNA, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Miss you down here, man. Hey. Who's here there? So we were just talking about how Atlanta and Detroit is so much alike. We was talking about the BMF. We was talking about the Maserati Ricks and the Young Boys Incorporated. But by you being Atlanta native, speak of some of the trap stars of Atlanta for back in the days. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Right, there's the difference now. Okay, Big Me was big. Big Me did his thing. Actually,
right.
Made itself even bigger.
Right.
And one reason because Atlanta, Georgia is a hub.
Yeah.
Coming out from that south side when they come in through Florida, it can't go nowhere else till it come through Georgia.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a fact.
So we
Them boys saying that early, man.
Might not be big, but we had, man, just
A lot of, in every hood.
Man, I'm talking about every hood.
Every hood, I know.
4, 5 of them in every
See?
hood.
Right. That's how it be. Hood rich, as they call it back. Yeah, hood rich.
I heard
Buy
something
anything
about
you
the
want in the
Miami
hood.
boys was down here.
Miami boys
From Miami?
and they tried to,
What it is?
They got ran up out of here.
They tried to compensate.
Yeah.
But it sounds good though. It sounds good. Everything. But so that was the time, man. And like I said, we just had so many, man, D-boys, man, trap boy, what a lot of people call Kings,
right.
Across,
Yeah.
Atlanta, from the east side to the west side, but they used to say, traps and stuff like that in Atlanta. But them niggas out there on the east side got that weight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but it's all good. Yeah. Yes, sir. So you could tell that a lot of the things that was going on in Detroit was going on in Atlanta. The same thing with all the way down to the car automotive scene. We had Ford plant. They had the Ford plant in Atlanta. They had the GMC plant in Atlanta. The same way they had the factories up in Detroit. Right.
Oh, y'all had the big three down here too?
Yeah, they rolled our cars out here, for sure.
Oh shit!
It wasn't the Motown. It wasn't like Detroit back in the heyday. But yeah, we got factories even to this day.
You see?
Okay.
Now that I really wasn't hip to.
Yeah.
Like how Atlanta was on that scene with the cars.
See, right. I wasn't up on it either, really.
But something we talked about earlier about Atlanta.
But I kind of figured that, yeah.
You know, and,
so it's a lot of
Detroit
similarities.
A lot. Yeah.
I call it my second city. You know,
You know?
it reminded me kind of old Atlanta. You know, before
Right.
you know they put the Band-Aid on everything.
See?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so
Hey Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Also, while I'm thinking about it, before I forget, them circular buildings you was talking about.
I was about to hit that.
That Detroit GM building, it was originally called the Renaissance Center.
The Renaissance Center. Yes, sir.
And then it became a GM building after that.
Yeah, the GM building took over.
Yeah, they
Right.
bought it.
Right.
Yeah.
But that building, that's crazy you put that up there because the circular building you talking about in Atlanta, when I first seen that, that's the first thing I said. I said, that looked like the Renaissance.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, what the other 4 buildings at,
Right.
you know, around?
Yeah.
So they must be talking about the Peachtree Center down there.
Yeah. And Atlanta is it's the Peachtree Western Hotel.
And ours was the Renaissance Center.
With the restaurant and then
and
y'all
had a
rent-
hotel in it and all
Y'all
that.
got the
restaurant that spin around.
we
Yeah,
got
Yeah,
one
we
too.
do
Yeah,
too.
too.
Yeah.
It was all the
Theater,
same.
all in up in there.
But truth be told, let's get it right now. Detroit had it first.
Hey,
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm telling you, Atlanta got
All
it.
four.
Yeah.
We got it right. We out here doing our thing, man, till they ten.
hey, what was the Pops train?
Yeah.
You know?
The
Well-
train on downtown.
Well, since you said that, let's segue into this right here. Detroit had the music scene first.
Yeah.
Now Atlanta has it, but back in the days, in our parents' days, Detroit was the music scene.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
We stand for the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soul, R&B.
Be
And,
so
and later
R&B.
after Atlanta was the music scene.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We got to say we went to the East Coast, New York.
Right.
But you know, like I said, that was before New York jumped
Yeah.
on with the hip hop.
Yeah.
Detroit
Right.
had it. You know
And
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Motown was something special, man.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
Man.
That's
Yeah,
Like
it was.
that, man.
Yeah, they in the
Nothing but
hood.
little house.
Yeah,
Nothing but
yeah.
little house. It's still there too.
Yeah.
You know, West Coast
Still
had
there.
that turn, but like you
Yep.
say, Atlanta got it.
But you know, you
last.
think of
You
West,
know, y'all got it.
when you say West Coast, you know they really didn't last long like that in the music industry. It was like
As far as on top, no.
it was
just,
quick
they
though.
Just had a little
It was like
run.
Detroit,
They just had a little run. That's all.
New York,
Yeah.
and Atlanta. They only had two. They had some artists come
no,
out of there.
You want to count the West Coast at all?
Nah, you
No.
gotta get West Coast they run because they they dominate.
No, I'm counting them.
Era.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't last as long as like Detroit, New York.
The
and like
early-
right now,
The early
is-
to mid '90s, they went on a run.
yeah, you know, like you had West Coast artists, but
Right.
you didn't have a whole lot like New York.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't as-
we
it
can't
wasn't
count
as many,
Chicago
yeah.
out. You know, Chicago pushed out a lot of yeah, they push out a lot of people, but they were small stations, labels. They was like really,
Yeah.
really small.
But they
and they
talking
was
about
being
as far
ate
as
up.
dominating the whole game.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
In that case, we can't count out Memphis either. We can't count out
Right.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
wanna
but-
say that.
but,
Yeah,
well,
that is-
that's
you know what I mean?
blues.
And-
They only
No. We go
For-
back. I guess maybe because we've been down south, so we had I guess the bandits and hearing a lot of stuff like your 8 Ball and MJG,
Mhm.
your Skinny Pimps and your
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah,
we
yeah.
heard all that
Yeah.
in D. We heard all that in D.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
can't really, but
Yeah.
like I say, I think
Yeah.
East, South, and West kind of had a thing kind of going on, which we kind
They
of
had that ride.
As far as the
Oh,
most
yeah.
dominant, yeah.
And
East,
can't
it
leave-
was East, West, and then South.
West connect.
and we can't leave out UGK.
We can't Texas for sure.
Man, hey.
Yeah,
Texas-
Texas had a run too. Texas had a little run where they dominated everything for a while.
Texas did have. I was gonna mention that too, Chuck. Texas had a little run too,
Yeah,
where
for sure.
they was running shit with this whole Suave House movement
Yeah,
and Tony Draper and all of them. They did their thing, and a lot of offspring came off of that, and of course, Rap a Lot. You know?
Yeah, but even after that, where they had the runs with the Chameleonaires and the Paul Walls and the Mike Jones and the Slim Thugs.
all of that is offspring off of Rap A Lot and Suave House. You know what I'm saying? That was all birthed from all of that.
But to me, what put them on Mac when on the map when they started at Chop and Screw, Texas fucked shit up when they came with the Chop and Start.
Yeah, DJ Screw.
Yeah, from DJ Screw.
DJ Screw. Yeah,
that's what we were to Atlanta. What DJ Screw was to Texas.
For sure.
Exactly.
Kind of invented by DJ Screw. Like your fast songs, the slow songs kind of started by us. You know what I mean? Your Shawty Swing My Ways, and we can go on and on.
That whole era was the shit.
Whole era,
yeah, we're gonna have to do a whole other segment about that.
By you bringing that up, you just made me realize Atlanta had 2 eras in rap music. Y'all had an early era, and y'all had a later era.
Yeah,
because when you talk about the Shorty Swing My Way, the MC Shy D, the Kilo Ali, Raheem. When you talk about all that, that's y'all first era.
Exactly.
Y'all had a run even back then.
And you know what's crazy with that?
We didn't have the majors here.
And we listened to all that shit in Detroit. Detroit used to love that shit.
And that's a part of that connection.
And you know what's crazy? Not knowing that they was from Atlanta.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Man,
I've been here 16 years, and I think was it last year Sharon did the thing, Chuck? Was it last year we went?
Sharon?
Yeah.
Do you know how
the award show? Yeah.
The award show,
Okay, yeah.
When I'm like,
we did the award show, but at Sharon Showcase.
You know, I knew who Raheem was when I heard the song. I'm like, this shit is we played that.
Yo,
back in
the day, he ain't lying. Back in the day, I didn't even know who Raheem the Dream. I knew who Raheem the Dream and Shy D was, but I did not know they was from Atlanta.
Yeah,
and we was banging they shit all over Detroit.
I also thought Shy D was from Miami because I was on that Luke shit, and that's how his. Come on, say kid.
He's from Atlanta, but he moved. I'm sorry, New York.
Yeah,
he's originally from New York.
I never knew that he was originally from New York,
but made his music in
Miami.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
See, that shit was crazy.
Okay.
See, that's his.
He did have that kind of flavor.
Y'all missed that at the award show. Y'all ain't tell us that part. Yeah. But back to the.
All you got to do is go back and check the episode on Atlanta rap history. MC Shy D, he'll tell you the whole story. Look it up on Atlanta rap history. MC Shy D interview.
Okay.
Okay. Check all of them out, man.
That's one cool brother right there.
Hey, tell Shy D.
Yeah.
If they watching this, Shy D. Yeah. Shy D and Raheem the Dream, we still waiting on you in the frat house.
You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For sure. Well, I just talked to Shy D not long ago. He been busy. He been DJing all over.
Oh
Atlanta.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he like
they
I get a break. I got you. Yeah.
Hey, they both blessed us. They both said they was gonna come. We just gotta wait on it. You know what I'm saying?
Like LL Cool J. Back then in the South,
right.
Shy D was, and
that's a cool brother too, bro. Like I remember the night we was in the club and he was just sitting in the back, just cool. I'm like, I'm blowed.
I didn't even know that was him at first.
I said, bro, am I drunk? Or was that Shy D?
You the one told me. Yeah, you was like, that's Shy D over there.
I'm like, I know I'm blow. He like, I'm gonna go ask. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, you go ask.
I went over there and hollered
I'm
at
too
him,
blowed. I ain't supposed to do all that. I'm like, all right, but he real humble, real cool dude, bro.
Show, man.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Show, man.
And we appreciate y'all, man, because y'all come to the frat house and everybody that we had in the frat house, legends. Like, man, like I watch a lot of other podcasts in Atlanta, and there don't be no legends on there. There don't be no. I'm like, man, who y'all reaching out to?
That's
like,
why
y'all need the history. What's the deal?
My Detroit people, like, if they come off the wrong way, like if I say something about Atlanta, and they be like, oh, whatever, you talking about that Atlanta. I'll be like, hold up, bro. I get love in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to check my own people sometime. Like, yo, I get love in Atlanta. Yeah, I got love for Atlanta. You know what I mean?
We
sure.
accepted, man. We invited, man.
We did our time down here now.
Hell yeah.
So we Atlanta people.
Hey, for sure, yeah. Hey, we all Detroit guys, but we represent Atlanta.
Hell yeah, got to, bro.
right.
This our own. I've been here 8 years, 8 and a half years.
Say 16.
Yeah, I've been
I'm
here 16.
Okay.
What you is?
20.
Oh man, I've been here 19. 19. Almost,
Okay, 3 years before
almost
me.
20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Almost.
No, 'cause
I
I know
came
I'm
in
sick.
2003.
And I'm 2005.
July of 2023 would be 20 years for me. I came here.
Well,
I came here on 4th of July.
No, it brought me here, but it,
that was 95.
yeah, but no.
Right.
But look, the Freaknik brought me here, but I ain't give a fuck about what they was doing. I was on a whole nother time level then.
Hey, man.
Like,
Hey, can y'all remember?
you slipping.
Can y'all remember 95, man?
Hey, I was like my man in Minister Society. I had to get him.
I'm so.
Give me a hamburger too.
Y'all don't even understand how much they used to talk about the Freaknik in Detroit in the late 90s.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
and I never made it here in the late 90s.
Me neither.
I don't know what it was that was stopping me from getting here. I was trying my best to get here to Freaknik and never made it here in the late 90s.
I can't.
Yeah. Freaknik is definitely, Freaknik is something that you have to experience. There's no words that can explain Freaknik. There's no way to explain it. If you wasn't there, even if you seen it on a video today, that you could still never explain the feeling of being there.
And they are trying to bring it back so many different kind of ways, but it never be the same. But I do have to say this though. Doing 05, 04, 03, those years right there, I do have to say that the soundtrack to the Freaknik was the boogie shaking music.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Splat Pad to I had to even say, man, yo, they had played because there was a lot of LJ tapes that were being played that would have all those songs on them.
And it's crazy.
Not only that, but if you remember Luke's song, he actually said it in the song. He say, "Freaknik coming, Freaknik coming, Freaknik coming, Freaknik coming."
Yeah. Verb coming. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to give a special shout out to Nobody Except Me for giving us a shout out in the chat line, and Lucius Jackson. Thank you for the shout out in the chat line. They watching live, man. We appreciate y'all for the shout out.
Oh yeah,
One love,
no doubt.
one love.
One love to y'all.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Yeah. So like we were saying before, back in the days, you would go to Detroit to try to get on in the music scene, but nowadays you have to come to Atlanta to try to get on in the music scene. Hey, Magic Mar, talk to him a little bit about when the shift came to Atlanta.
I would say the shift came. Most notable moment probably would be when Outkast got
Yes,
booed
sir.
at the awards.
Yeah.
And Andre 3000 told him the South got something to say.
Yeah.
And they damn sure did after
think,
that.
You know, I think that kind of put not only by them winning the best group of the year, not only that, but just the fact that it brought a different ear to the music where people were paying more attention to it because the music has always been here, man.
Yeah.
Always been here. And then LaFace, of course, they was really probably the first major
Yeah, they were.
that came down from, they not even, grassroots here. But, they came
and he
here
like Hollywood.
like LA or something like
Yeah,
that.
Hollywood.
You know how
Out that way or something like that, yeah.
Nah,
You know-
they actually from Minnesota. They were part of Prince group.
Minnesota. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, they are Minnesota.
Oh shit! That
Yeah.
now see,
Wow.
that's some history. I
Yeah,
never knew that,
Me
Oh,
neither.
yeah. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
but I know them some bad boys.
Yeah,
But they
man.
brought on not just with the rap, it was TLC. They came after that, and your Ushers and your
Yeah,
Pebbles,
yeah, Jermaine
and-
Dupri.
That was
Jermaine
all
Dupri,
Atlanta, man.
Yeah.
That was all Atlanta.
Yeah, so that's why I say ever since then it's kind of like it's
Yeah.
been on and popping. You know
Hey,
what I mean?
speaking of Jermaine Dupri, wasn't his pops doing this thing in the streets with Frank Lucas? Ain't that
Well,
a part of
Well,
the
I know
history
his
of
dad
Atlanta?
Was, he was like
I never heard that.
a big wig over at Sony, Michael Molden. I do know that about him.
Yeah, him and
From my understanding, he was an executive in the music industry. That's how he got Jermaine Dupri on that big tour to dance for. That was a super big tour. That was the Bud Fest that they used to travel around the country with, that Jermaine was dancing on when he was just like 10, 11 years old. From my understanding, his dad was in the record business.
Right.
I never even knew that.
But wasn't he like had some kind of ties with Frank Lucas at the time? I read something that Jermaine Dupri's dad was I can't think of his name. Michael Molden. Him and Frank Lucas was friends. They was like buddies, and they had some kind of ties together. Okay. I'm gonna redo my research.
You probably heard that later, but you gotta remember at that time he probably didn't want that shit to be out there. That probably was on the low.
I mean, well, that's like Malcolm X was cool with
right, Bumpy Johnson.
With Bumpy Johnson. So right, yeah. And I don't know why. Like,
it could have been one of those things,
I'm one of them guys that I glorify the bad guys. I should be like, hey, we're gonna root for the good guys.
Man, all this stuff built on that, Even like all the rap groups that came out from here, it was all funded through street money.
Mm-hmm.
Right. From Kilo Ali's to your Hard Boys to your we going on and on with that. Everybody had a dad with dealing with somebody putting my hair on money.
Hey, before we jump back into the BMF shit, Chuck, I got a question because Snow on the Bluff, is that like some shit that really happened? Because they were saying the movie is based on a true story.
That's old Atlanta.
Okay.
That's old Atlanta. Yeah.
And based on a true story.
That's the dirty South, not the new South. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
But yeah, man, all that, the Bluff, man, everything, all Atlanta was trap land, man. You know what I mean? From your Carver home to Harris home to Bowen homes to, all the homes like get said on good them up. But hey, man, there were projects all through Atlanta, man. And every projects was just trapped out. 4 Seasons, man, to Thomasville.
The Bluff on Candler?
Nah. 4 Seasons is over with Thomasville at. Moreland.
Moreland, I know, yeah.
Kingpins come out of there, man, getting money, man.
But y'all projects is beautiful.
I know this just from
look up the
now y'all correct me if I'm wrong.
Eastlake Meadows?
Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Based on what I seen with my own eyes being over there, and based on people that I met living here that told me they could do a whole series on the Bluff.
They did. They did.
Is that correct?
Not only the Bluff. It's like, remember how y'all was saying about how White Boy Rick was on the scale? See, y'all know the Bluff from the movie, but the Bluff is not the only rough city in Atlanta. That's just one. That's just one of many.
Oh no, I definitely know that.
I heard a little Vietnam.
For sure.
Yeah, that's East Lake. You want to work on that? They say that was the roughest. Look, you see the documentary on there. They say it was the roughest project across the United States.
Yeah.
The Bluff just the most popularized one.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, man. Boy Home got his own story, man. With being on Bankhead, you got rappers like Kilo that come out of Born Home and Shawty Low that come out of Born Home.
So check it.
And before that come out of Born Home.
Mechanicsville, how they was?
Now Mechanicsville, same.
They got busy over there too.
They were talking about Damage. You had group Damage to come out of.
I heard it. Look, see, my girl, she from Decatur, and like she be like, yeah, you on the East Lake Meadows. I used to hang over here. I'm like, what? She like, yeah, I was born in Carver Homes, and I'm like.
Yeah,
but see, when y'all projects to me, y'all had grass,
beautiful, yeah.
Y'all had windows.
Half where what people were.
What 2005?
Way that they were burnt.
Yeah, you way too late.
Oh,
they tearing down projects then.
Okay, because I
tearing them down.
Cause I'm used to our projects. You ain't seen no grass.
Everything after the Olympics. See, you talking about after the Olympics. We talking about before the Olympics. When the Olympics came, they did a big cleanup in Atlanta. They changed a lot. They did a lot of changes. Changed the name of streets. They cleaned up a lot. Tore down hotels that was all the way trapped out. Prostituted out, they tore them down, they tore down some projects. They did a lot of changing in '96. So anything after '96, like he's saying, that's new Atlanta.
Right.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
when I went to a project, I was hanging with my little white boy talking something. We about to go to Bowen Homes and we about to go over here on Bankhead. I'm like, brother, if these projects, I don't know where the fuck y'all complaining about.
We really didn't even shut down. Bro, home been shut down since we in Chuck. Probably what? That had to be that had to be like the early 2000s for y'all.
Yeah, like I was saying before 96, after 96 was a different Atlanta. When the Olympics came, they did a real sweep. They did a real big cleanup, a real big sweep of Atlanta. And everything after that, it wasn't the same.
Techwood
Oh,
was
yeah.
a rough project. But
Yeah.
Techwood was actually what they redid first because that's why all the athletes that came in from other countries stayed.
Yeah.
So they just show you how they took it. They
Down
took
there by
it
the
from one
underpass.
thing, over by Georgia, right across from Georgia Tech.
That's some history right there. I ain't know that.
But you know what's crazy about that? That area now is starting to get like that again. I was riding over. I'm like, man, it's like 12 at night.
It's
like,
starting to
niggas
get
all
back
outside.
rough again.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Ain't nothing like it used to be. I tell you,
Used to be outside.
12 o'clock outside. Yeah, like
that street that we was heading down, and we were going to your birthday, and them motherfuckers out.
When
we got off the expressway, what's the name of that street? And I was like, damn, it's like Detroit.
What year
it
you
was on
talking
the west
about?
side. This was this year. We went to the
he talking about just this year.
golf hookup
On the west side? He talking about Top Golf for your B day. He talking about
Lowry Boulevard.
In
Lowry
October.
Boulevard.
Lowry Boulevard, Lowry. Okay, yeah, that's West End.
Yeah, the West End. Yeah,
West End.
But you got motherfuckers like this.
Oh,
yeah. He talking about Lowry.
But
Yeah.
all that clean now.
No, it ain't, bro.
Man, hey man,
Probably compared to what it used to be.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh no, it's still some hood off Lowry for sure. I've been over there. But when I was over there, it was about what was me and the Dodge living over there? I'm talking like maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was still gutter over there about 5 years ago.
And it still is.
And they still to this day trying to clean up all these different
areas.
Some areas of what used to be Bankhead, what we still call Bankhead.
Right.
But Donnelly, Holloway, that's one thing they did. They changed all the street names.
Yeah.
Simpson Road, they changed it.
Hollywood Court.
Hollywood Court. That's all this stuff been kind of gone. Well, Bankhead Court. They had a Bankhead Court and Born Home. They both was on, but that's been tore down for the longest. Overlook Atlanta, right there, in the heart of Bankhead. All this stuff been.
Yeah, I hear the stories, because my girl, she East Side, Decatur, and all that. She be like, yeah, over here was crazy. I'm like, okay, and we just get to ride one night. We get to drink
that history.
We get to ride. She be like, over here. Then we used to hang at Jelly Beans. Then we used to hang over here and da. I'm like, you talking to me like I know exactly
what's going on.
And that's so hard to explain because you would have had to just be there.
And that's what she tell me. You just had to,
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah, see, and they used to say Candler used to be off the hook during the freak.
Man, just period.
They said that bitch be shut down.
Yeah, you did tell me that about
Yeah.
You go around,
Where you at, Chuck? Give us some more of that history, brother.
But like he said, man, Candler Road it didn't even have to be Freaknik. A good Saturday with nice weather was enough to make Candler Road just be packed out with nice cars and girls walking up and down the street. But like he was saying, in 96, they changed so much. They even changed the name of streets to try to make it not so when people came to town, they couldn't find Stewart Avenue. They couldn't find Bankhead because they changed the name of the streets. They knew the people knew the name of these streets and they would go come looking for them. So during Olympics time, they changed the name of all these streets.
Right. So actually, I said the changes started actually before the Olympics because they was getting ready for the Olympics.
Yeah.
They knew years like ahead, that we was going to begin the Olympics when they announced it. So that's when all the
I think it started in 91.
Yeah. So from then, that's what I'm saying. So this is kind of like before y'all got here, how Atlanta really was.
And the reason I say that, because one of my partners came down here and he had a trailer, and he had set up like a kitchen. He had a semi trailer, and it was Steve. You know Steve Soul Food.
Yeah, Steve Soul. Yeah.
Yeah, that my partner.
You know Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit, and he came down here and he had bidded for a spot in Atlanta.
Okay.
And he got it or whatever. But and that was like in 92.
Yeah.
In
so
92.
that's when the flux of people
Yeah.
really started coming here big, kind of at that time and on up to now. You know, 1 point they were saying it's $5,000, 5,000 people a day to move to Atlanta. You know.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Yeah, because y'all is overcrowded. It's
Hey.
I hate 285.
Well, thanks to y'all. We welcome people though. We welcome
Right.
people.
Thanks to the out of towners, right?
I hate driving. Period.
Hey,
Yeah,
You ain't got no more.
It's a
But like we was saying in the at the beginning, you know, the BMF thing it started in Detroit. We see how it started in Detroit, but it ended
in Atlanta.
yeah. Hey,
yeah.
Yeah.
but
it ended in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
but you know what's crazy? They blew Atlanta up, but one of the guys from my neighborhood, before they got known in Atlanta, he was in Atlanta doing this thing.
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
You know,
Oh, they wasn't
he
the
just
only
came in
ones.
with really better numbers.
Yeah,
But
they
I
wasn't
ain't
the
here,
only
though.
ones. They was
There's a lot of
just
people that didn't even shout with me.
they was
Yeah.
just
People that was here, that people, no matter what the number or ticket was, they fuck with who they fuck with.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
What it was.
Because it's called loyalty.
it was just how strong they came through.
Right.
They was deep too.
Well, they had
You
been
know what I'm
moving
saying?
across
Yeah.
the country.
Yeah,
They had been to St. Louis. They
yeah,
had been to some other places.
Right.
You know,
LA.
So they were spread it out.
Spread it out.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
13 states.
Before
They had
us.
control
I
of
think Miami
13
too, wasn't
states. Huh?
Yeah.
Miami too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, they had a lot.
They definitely had a headquarters in Miami.
yeah.
But like I say, everything that comes from
Kentucky?
Miami for it to disperse anywhere,
Which
they gotta come
Saint
through.
Every
Louis.
kingpin have a headquarters in Miami. You ain't doing shit because it got where the fuck it come from. It's stopping in Miami.
Yeah.
Right,
Period.
They would come
I don't give a
in.
fuck wherever you getting your dope from.
Mhm.
Miami is the
Miami.
first hub.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's on the water. The dope is not made in America. It's got to come from overseas. It comes from another place, and they usually comes over the water.
Yeah,
That
that's what I'm
coast-
saying. It's
that
stopping in
coast gonna
Miami.
Get theirs first.
Yeah, it's coming out first.
They
but
getting
it
theirs
gets
on top
dispersed
on that.
Yeah.
from Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
Yes,
right
sir.
there. Florida is at the bottom of
That's why
Georgia.
Texas so
Yeah.
live
right
too,
there
because
in
they
Florida
got a
at the bottom.
coast
So
too.
they have to come through Georgia to go everywhere else.
Yeah,
Te-
but it comes to Atlanta, and Atlanta goes to everywhere in the country from Atlanta.
75. That's the highway 75.
But you right now,
Yeah.
to these days right now, you
Yeah.
got a lot. To these days right now, you got a lot of grow houses around now. in the
Yeah.
city. So it ain't really got. If y'all don't bring it to us, we got some people here that got it.
Like he was just saying, like Texas. Texas is a quarter.
Well, they
You
got a
know,
port, yeah.
Yeah.
So it
They
comes
got
in,
their
you know.
border too.
yeah, but they right there. But
Yeah.
when it leads